I'm going to get vulnerable on this, and I don't even know how I'm supposed to get vulnerable on this, but I might save that for the second half. I have a couple quotes that I've heard you say just in different podcasts and things like that that I kind of want to dive on that I thought were pretty interesting. One of the principles you talk a lot about. Obviously, you're a preacher, Christian man, and you teach a lot about the law of the harvest. And I feel like in door-to-door sales, there is no other industry, in my opinion, as gritty and more applicable to the law of the harvest, because most people are on 1099. Most people are kind of own entrepreneurs, not paid a W-2. So it is very, very much so applicable in our industry, in our jobs, in our lives. Kind of talk to us about your principle of, work your land and the law of the harvest.
Okay, so great question. So number one, people are looking for results. We talk a lot about results. We think a lot about results. But the beautiful thing is to really enjoy the results, to really benefit from the results, and for the results to last, you have to go through what I call the law of the harvest. And the law of the harvest is this: you got to plow the ground, and then you have to plant the right seed. Then you water the seed, which is repetition, and then you will reap the harvest. Okay, so let's talk about Magic Johnson for a second. So people see him as a great basketball player of the past, but he talks about growing up in Michigan that sometimes it was so cold that he would be out there in the snow outside playing basketball in the snow because he knew somebody in the sun in Florida or California was practicing. So he couldn't say, it's snowing in Michigan, I can't practice. So he would practice in the snow. So that's plowing, planting the right seed, watering the seed, and then you get the harvest. So it actually comes from a proverb in the Bible that says, he who works his land shall have abundance, but whoever chases fantasies lacks wisdom. So I don't want to chase fantasies and think it's all going to happen overnight. No, I'm going to plow the ground, plant the right seed, water the seed every day, and then get the harvest. That's what happened to Magic Johnson. That's what happened to you.
Love that. And so there's a part in a podcast I heard where you talked about, there's favor in the person and then there's favor in the path. And I really thought this was interesting because some people are plowing in the wrong fields, I feel like. And a lot of times people chase greener grass and they're like, I'm going to do door-to-door sales, or I'm going to do this for a couple years, or I'm going to, and then I'm going to go get a real job or I'm going to go, and I'm like, what do you mean a real job? And I feel like a lot of times people lose faith in the path, or they may get distracted from the path. Talk to us a little bit about kind of your concept of that.
My concept is it's not as difficult as we're making it. Okay. So I don't know this. Do you have children?
Yeah, 3 little girls.
Okay. So as a father, you want your 3 children, your 3 daughters to do well, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So God the Father, he wants his children to do well. So God gets more glory out of you being a success than out of you being a failure. That's a Tim Storey quote from way back. Don't forget that. God gets more success out of you being a success than you being a failure. So he wants you to be successful. So here's the deal, is that all of us have the right path that we can follow. So the Bible says, trust in the Lord with all your heart. Do not lean on your own understanding, but in all your ways acknowledge him, and he shall direct your path. So there is a path that is already there. I call it the favor path. So favor is on your person, but favor, watch, is also on your path. So I always say this: just because you're pretty doesn't mean you ought to be a model. Just because you can sing doesn't mean you should be a professional singer. So you got to say, favor's on my person because I'm a child of God, but now where's my favor path? Mm-hmm. I'll quickly tell you how to find it. You have to stop, you have to look, and then you have to listen.
Ooh, I like that.
When you stop and you look and you listen, you're going to hear the voice. And the voice is going to lead you to the right path. It could be things like people hurting. Maybe you're a humanitarian. You see a creative person. Hey, I want to be a creative person. Or you see someone in a certain business and you decide you want to be in that business. So favors on your person and favors on your path. We can help you find your favorite path.
That's awesome. I had a huge breakthrough the other week. I went on this hike and I was just kind of like really trying to connect with God and just being like, hey, what's my mission, you know? And I felt like oftentimes we judge or we obsess over somebody else's purpose, right? And we don't look inward and say, what was my purpose and what's the sight that I need to have? And I think, like, I love how you said, if you're a single mom of 2 kids and you're a great mom and that's your version of success, then awesome. And I think a lot of people, they get superimposed through society and other people to push them in a direction where they're just not looking at God and themselves and saying, what's my mission on this earth and in my journey that I'm supposed to be here and fulfill its purpose and success.
You're saying that perfectly. And that's one thing we'll be dealing with, guys, when we come to the conference in January. So once again, tell them the dates.
January 8th and 9th.
January 8th and 9th. And so as a person that has been speaking since I was 20 and I am now 60. So I've been speaking for 40 years in 75 countries of the world, as high as 85,000 people at a time. I will say to you, come to this conference, invest in yourself, because we're going to be breaking this stuff down. It's not going to just be a lot of like inspiration. It's going to be step by step on how to prosper in your business, how to prosper in your personal life, and how to turn setbacks into comebacks. And I want to get a chance to meet you personally. So I really challenge you and beseech you to come in January. It's going to be awesome. And come on, guys, let's heal this world. The world is looking for us. Let's heal the world.
I love that. And I appreciate that. And let's kind of conclude there, because to be honest, like, that's one of the reasons I got you to come speak and push for you is I really like your message is very pure. It's about inspiring others to just really kind of make the world a better place. And it's almost embarrassing to watch the political fights and the religious fights in today's society. And it's like, guys, come on. Like, God, we're all God's children. We all want to love each other. Like, why are we trying to be right? Why are we trying to force people to believe certain things? Like, everybody has their mission, everybody has their purpose. And I think if we just align with that and really focus in and hone in on our contribution to society and how we can make a difference. And I really do resonate with what you're pushing and how you're inspiring the world and your humanitarian and your religious views. And, I really do appreciate you coming to this conference and being on this podcast and just being raw and